All right. Justice. Justice being the overall. Fairness and balance. Now, I don't necessarily feel like this is any kind of a situation that's leading to divorce for those of you who are looking at, a married situation. I do think that this is about accountability and making sure that, the choices that are being made here are fair for everyone. Now, this could definitely be about you or them trying to correct some wrongs. But you coming in with the Wheel of Fortune, this is something that's coming back around to you involving this person, and they're showing the Ace of Cups. So there is definitely the potential for a new opportunity here. Emotional fulfillment, new beginning in love, right? But this is, something that I think that you've seen before when it comes to this person. But here you're doing it again because of the wheel. Now, absolutely with the wheel, it's up to you. It's up to you on how you want things to go here. Now, you moving into the King of Cups, this may be how you're looking at the other person. Okay, whether they're male or female, water sign, doesn't matter. The problem is that they're showing the Nine of Wands. So if you're looking at them as the King of Cups, it may be that this person is becoming more emotionally available to you, especially considering the fact that they're showing the Ace of Cups. The problem is that they may still be a little bit more guarded toward you, especially if this is, an opportunity that's coming back around. And, given that justice is the underlying here and things needing to be corrected. Now, we could flip this. You could be being a little bit more emotionally available because they're showing the Ace of Cups, but yet at the same time they're guarded, right? I think it's they're a little bit afraid of you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that, they're definitely wanting to get involved, but they don't want to be hurt. Now, you, though, are showing the Two of Swords coming out of this. This is you definitely going, I don't know if this is the right choice for me. They're showing the King of Wands, which means that, if you are not able to make a choice here, it would make sense that they're looking at you that way. The King of Wands not being able to follow through here, right? They're still very much attracted to you for sure. Now, we could flip it again here and say that you can't make a decision because they are not following through. I love the King of Wands, I do. I live with him. I know what that's like. But he's not known for paying attention to details or fully committing to anything. There are too many things to experience, right? But this is definitely somebody who is smart about where their passions are leading them. So that may be why they're kind of looking at you that way, especially if you cannot make a choice involving them. I think that you're open. I think that you're supportive. You think that this is a possibility, but is it fair? Is it fair for you? Is it fair for you now when it comes to, your own life and where you're wanting to go? Now, the Hangman coming out on this, this is definitely you not really willing to act on anything, especially with the Two of Swords here. And I don't think that it's you needing to see a different perspective. I think that, for you, it's just that you can't. Because ultimately, coming out of the Two of Swords leading to the Hangman, you can't. You're trying, but you can't right now. The Ten of Wands being in between both of you here, especially with justice, we're talking about, needing to drop some baggage here and correct some issues. Whatever that baggage is involving this relationship, whatever is weighing on you, the other person, we need to just drop this. But with the Sun coming out, right, this is seeing things clearly, especially when it comes to what the both of you may be carrying around in terms of the relationship. And that's where, I feel like this needs to be corrected specifically. Not so much anything in the past or anything that anybody's done. But, if we're talking about fairness and balance, well, you can't make that kind of choice if, there's a lot of weight and pressure being put on you or the other person, right? All right. And the Two of Wands. There is definitely a way forward. But the thing is, I don't know that this is anything that's ever going to be traditional. Okay, so the person that you're focused on here, I think for you, I don't know that you're really wanting to let's date, let's say we're a couple, let's move in together. You're not in that kind of a space with them. And I don't think that they are either, but there is definitely a major attraction to you. And they're definitely keeping themselves a little bit guarded here. But I think that they may be okay with just it is what it is. Because I'm looking at two different ways that this could go. Now, Coming in with the Queen of Wands with the Hangman, this is why, right? Like, you're okay. You're okay being free. You're okay being you. You know, if you get involved in this, does it have to mean that? Does it have to go in that direction, right? And then with them, with the Fool, they're okay. Like, I feel like they're okay just going ahead and jumping into whatever happens here. The thing is if we're talking about burdens, I think that that's where this is coming in with the High Priestess. There's definitely some things that they're keeping to themselves when it comes to, you know, the way that they're seeing things. But they're okay still, though, with moving forward in something that is not, like, gonna lead anywhere specific. We're not making plans for long term here, okay? This is just, like, enjoying each other now. With the Two of Pentacles, like, you're okay with being flexible, right? And I don't think it's you're struggling to try to keep this situation going, but that's something that you're taking into consideration, absolutely, with Justice being there, right? You know, is that something that you want to keep in balance just in case? You know, it's like, maybe things can go that way, maybe they won't, but I'm okay with, you know, working with the situation as it is now, right? But the thing is does it become too much, though, with the Ten of Wands being between the both of you? Because they're withholding, I think, wanting more. But where they come out at is with the Knight of Wands, you're showing the Two of Wands. It's up to you. You could take this either direction if you wanted to. Okay? If you're fine with not, you know, getting overly involved and just kind of having, you know, the fling, so to speak, then that's fine. But I don't know that they are fully, and that maybe become a problem. But as it goes right now, I think that the both of you are okay. I think that you just need to make sure that everybody understands in this situation that you need to be accountable for your own actions here, right? Because it's not about who's doing wrong. You know, it's about, you know, fairness. If what is fair for you is to not get too involved in this, then they need to understand that and not go back on you and say, well, you know, you should have been willing to give me more or whatever. If that makes sense. That's just kind of how I'm seeing this coming out. And again, guys, very general messages. You will know if this is the person that you're dealing with or if this is how you're feeling about it. All right. So for those of you who are single here, playfulness, things don't need to be so serious. You know, but I think it's you being like, you know, it is what it is, being playful, but the other person, I think, is taking things a little bit too seriously. The King of Cups, right? This could be the person you're dealing with, male, female, water, don't care. But there is romance here. Somebody definitely wants to have a relationship with you, but I don't think that you're comfortable with it, because with the Eight of Swords, you know, this is being put in an uncomfortable position. You know, now this may be the other person, though, as far as getting involved with you. But it's only because the Two of Cups and the Ten of Swords, this is realizing that a relationship is not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You know, and I think that for you, I think that you would be upfront with that. I think that you would be very clear with this person that, look, you know, I'm okay with, you know, hooking up every once in a while. But as far as a relationship and it going anywhere from that, it's not happening. They may not be happy with it, looking at the Ten of Swords, but the thing is I think that they get over it. The Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about looking beyond appearances. So they're looking past that now, and they're still wanting to give into you, even though they're not going to be able to have that relationship with you, and they're still putting themselves out there for you. You know, it's like it's funny because it's like a small victory for them. As long as they get your attention, I don't think that anything else really matters. I think that there is going to be some disappointment and some hurt over the fact that they can't be in a relationship with you. But the thing is that there is no connection beyond that. With the Seven of Swords being there, you know, and they may not be comfortable, but they're not saying no. And that's the thing. Right? They're not saying no, but there is no other connection besides that. Now, you know, for some of you, you may be getting involved with a person that may be uncomfortable here, and the both of you just kind of go your own ways. This person may be a little bit butthurt over the fact that a relationship between the two of you ended, which is possible. But no matter how you look at this, the way that you come out on this is it's either you or them, but I think it's them. They're putting themselves out there for you. You're looking past all the other crap here with the Page of Wands, and so are they. And, you know, you get what you want, and so do they. You know, it may not be the way that they originally thought it was going to go, but I think that they're okay with having you however they can have you. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because nothing's serious here. Nothing serious. We're just having fun. And then, all right, the Page of Cups. So here's what I'm getting from this. The codependency, I think, is emotional. You know, and I don't think that it's you being dependent on somebody else, but, you know, it could be. It could be. So, first of all, when we're looking at the Lovers, we're talking about temptation here, right? Needing to make a choice. Now, for some of you with the Emperor, it may be that, you know, you're being tempted here because you're full of passion and drive and ready to go. You know, now, on the other hand, this may be the person that you're dealing with. There may be a lot of passion for them, but for some reason, you know, you may be tempted somewhere else. Or we're talking about somebody who's trying to butt in on your relationship because, you know, they've got some issues. Now, with the Ten of Cups, though, and here's where my problem is, somebody is not exactly happy, okay? The Ten of Cups would suggest that at some point here, there was overall happiness, but somebody is, like, not seeing that another person is suffering, okay? And that may be where, you know, somebody may be allowed to kind of, like, butt their way into your relationship, which is possible here. But with the Queen of Wands, you know, the unhappiness, I think, is the self-image, you know, because I see that with her. With the Queen of Wands, you know, this is somebody who is, you know, okay with just, you know, getting involved with situations and giving attention to other people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean to put her in a bad light, but that's kind of how I see her with this deck. You know, but it may just be that some of you shouldn't be doing this, but you're needing some attention, though. Now, and that's so that you can feel better about this relationship. Now, with the Three of Wands, you get to a place where the both of you are like reconnecting. It's like an understanding of how you're feeling, but it's only based on whether or not somebody can get over their inability to express to you how they feel. Because, you know, with the Page of Cups here, I mean, look at it. He's trying so hard. He's like, God damn it, why can't I just tell them? Why can't I just tell them how I feel? You know, I look at this and I think it's not about addictions. It's not anything like that. I don't think that, because, I mean, we're not looking at the devil. I mean, you do have the Emperor, but, you know. I think that it's that you need each other, but you need to realize that you need each other in a much different way. You know, don't be dependent on each other for, you know, security reasons, you know, to keep family together, things like that. You need each other because you love each other. Okay? Because you're happy. You are happy. The two of you together are a good thing. That's what I'm seeing. But you're running the risk of, you know, you being tempted somewhere else because there may be a lack of passion, or somebody who's losing their, like, you know, passionate side, so to speak. But you're not going to do anything that's going to hurt this relationship. But the thing is that I don't think that this person understands that your self-esteem may be lacking a little bit. You know, but somebody does try to fix it. They do try to fix it. They try to fix the connection because you both love each other. You both love each other, right? They just need to spit it out on how they feel, or you're needing to spit it out so that we can get to a place where, you know, things can be fixed, right, before it's too late.